So I'm here with Hadley Morgan from Team England, and he's a former youth bowler himself, and now he's helping the youth team. So Hadley, introduce yourself here.
Okay, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm Hadley, I'm from England, and I'm one of the coaches here. We've got a team of 3 of us here, myself, Curtis and Richard, and we were the team last year and we're the team this year.
Cool. So what's your role going to be in this squad, this particular squad now?
We made a decision at the start of the tournament that we were going to have our positions. Richard's going to help the girls, Curtis is going to run the lanes with the boys, and my role here this week is going to be to spot the lanes at the back. So I'm just watching the other pairs, seeing what the other countries are doing, certainly the ones that are striking, but obviously the ones that aren't striking are obviously important too. To see why they're not striking, maybe they're just missing a lot, maybe they're just not the right part of the lanes. So yeah, as a background of running the pro shop and stuff, and obviously my background in bowling, I'm better off to be at the back to do that sort of thing, while Richard and Curtis do the motivational parts on the lane.
Cool. And now I know you and Curtis a little bit here, and I know you're some really good bowlers yourself. So how have the preparation been to this tournament? Now you've been in the situation yourself, and try to explain what's going through the heads of the bowlers, and how do you prepare them for a tournament of this size?
Okay, one of the reasons we wanted to do this a couple of years back was because we felt that it was important that what we could bring to the table to these juniors is we knew what they were thinking. We can understand what's going through their heads when they miss, when they strike, when they're about to throw the ball to win the gold. You know, we know what it's like, and we can understand it, and I think that gives us a little bit of an upper hand to be able to gain a bit of respect from them, and hopefully just be able to give them the experience that we had. It's important. It's an important part, as you know. Wouldn't you rather someone that has experienced that to be able to tell you, rather than someone's guessing or reading it from the textbook?
I agree 100% with Hadley here. The more experience you have yourself, and the more times that you've been yourself in the situation, you can actually coach people in the direction you want them, and you can help them understand the importance of just taking one shot at a time and keeping your mind calm and not overreacting to certain things and stuff like that. I think we're about to start the squad here, so we have to get going, but it was so fun to have you in the studio, Hadley. We'll follow up on this. I might get you on the commentary.
I'll come back later if you want me to.
Perfect, Hadley. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe we can get Curtis in the studio too, and then we can...
He'd like to have a chat with you.
Perfect. That's a deal. We'll get Curtis in the studio with Hadley later. Good. Let's look forward to the squad here. Squad 2 is about to start. Hadley, do you have some last words?
I better go and help our bowlers now.
Cool. Good luck to squad.
Thank you.
A very good afternoon, boys, spectators. Everybody welcome to the second squad in the boys team event of the European Youth Championships 2018. The last decisive is 6 games before we will find the top 4 for the semi-finals and final played tomorrow late afternoon. Please remember, all of you not playing more in the championship after these 6 games. It's on time to start removing your equipment back to the hotels. We're moving 4 lanes left, 4 lanes right. 10 minutes practice. Once again, welcome, and remember to take your bags to the hotel if you're not in competition after today. Last 6 games, boys single event, you know, top 4 in some hours. We ready? Good luck.
So now we're back on live again with the second squad of the boys, and the first squad was obviously where the teams put the ballers with the highest seed, most of them. So I think we're gonna see a squad that's a little bit more low scoring now, and I think the ballers that's gonna have a chance is the ballers to do a really decent shot making, and there is a lot of low seeded ballers here, which means that there will be a lot of balls that goes in different directions, and the quality of the shots will be a little bit poor, and that will create something on the lanes, and that can both be good and it can be bad. So we will have to see how it develops here, and I think we will see quite a lot of difference between the pairs in this squad, and I think the topography will be a bigger factor in this squad than it was in the other squad. Mostly because there's going to be some ballers that throw urethane and a lot of strong balls, and they throw it in different directions. So that's I think we're going to see a low scoring squad. So we're back on again now, and the first game is about to be over. I just had a chat with Mathias Ankerdal from Denmark, and I'm gonna get Mathias and Andreas in about half an hour, 45 minutes, commentating with me, where we're gonna do the same I did with Lucas, where we're gonna talk a little more about the social life of bowling and how do they incorporate it with bowling and being serious. And then a lot of people went over to me to say that the Icelandic guy had 298 this squad. He apparently had the baby split in the last frame. Good game to him. And as I said in the morning, hopefully we'll see a 300 game today, and we did. Alexander Nepatcher from Ukraine last squad had 300, and then we had the attempt now, front 11, and then an 8. So really cool. And I'm gonna do a quick update when the squad is over on the scores and how the all event looks, and we'll be back on.
byrjun, höldum við áfram.
So back on again now, and we're done with the first game. And let me see if I can get some scores up on my phone here, so we can see what the first game was compared to the other squad. And so we got the Icelandic guy on 298, and then we actually got 3 scores that's above the average of 1448 of William Svensson right now. Got Alexander Beck from Norway on 268, then we got 278 on a French guy called Maxime Dubois, and then we got Johan Atlason from Iceland on 298. So right now, and actually got some pretty decent scores, the squad. It's going to be pretty fun to see how the all events is going to look after this. Right now there is, in my opinion, only one contender, and that's Oscar Bierfeldt from Sweden. And if my calculations is not wrong, he needs 1330 or 1430 to around 1440 to win the all events. Let me just look here where he is on average. So the first game Oscar had 234, and yeah, as I said, he need around 1430, 1440 to win the all events, and the silver is about the same, 20 less, so he needs at least a good series now. We're gonna follow him a little bit, this squad, and then let me just and then of course tune in on my Facebook profile again, keep the questions coming, and I'll try to answer them as good as I can. Is there anyone you want in the studio? Please tell me later. After this squad, I'm gonna get Hadley and Curtis in, and we'll do a quick interview with them.
Rolig. Helge. Kim ut, check it out.
So we're back on live again. I'm standing Hadley Morgan besides me. We just had a quick chat, and I just confirmed that him and Curtis will be on later on today, where we're gonna go a little more around what's the preparation and what is Curtis's job as well as Hadley's, and how do they influence the youth bowlers in England, because I think they did an amazing job, and the youth bowling is getting bigger and bigger in England. They get better and better players over there, which I think Hadley and Curtis was a big part of, and I think they could be really proud of that.
Go there! Hey, Ma! Hatti! Låt det rulla. Oké, 4, steken we dat.
So I'm back on with Andreas Andreasen from Denmark, and he won a really good medal, bronze medal in team yesterday. Try to explain a little bit more. How is it to ball the finals? Was it exciting? Did you like it?
It was my first medal in the EYC, and I thought I would be, more nervous, but I wasn't. It was first after the nervous come.
Yeah.
I just, enjoyed and played my game. And unfortunately, we lost, but that's the other side of the case.
Nice.
It was really exciting.
So did you learn anything from it, and how did you process it afterwards? Because now I've been in a situation and tried to lose a match like that, and it's really important to actually process the thoughts and what was where did you put it after? Did you talk with anyone? Did you try to figure out why you lost and such?
We had a talk with our coach. We always does that after we're finished with bowling. And as we talked about, we played a really good semi-final, but the Norway was more consistent in the pocket.
So we just had a couple of technical problems here with the microphone, but we're back on with Andreas. And the question for Andreas now is, so who do you think is going to win this single event?
We have the top four with as of right now after the first squad with William and George from Norway.
Yeah.
And do you know who the other guys was?
Yeah, there was a Slovenian guy called Tim Sevenik.
I don't know.
And then Mike Bergman is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's top four right now.
I think, of course, William Svensson would be a good guess.
Yeah.
He's always good, and he's pretty good in finals.
Yeah.
And he played EYC many times, but I think the Norwegian guy would make the cut, and also the Slovenian guy. But I'm not sure about Mike. But if he makes the cut, he will also be a very, very good guess.
Okay.
I played against him on the European Youth Tour,
Oh yeah.
and he's really good in finals.
Cool.
He's making his shots, but William would be my best guess. But some of the other Swedish guys also playing well in this squad so far, and they're also gonna have a chance to make the cut. Yeah, but I would like to see some other guys in the final than the Swedes.
Yeah. So who would you like to have in the final? If you could choose yourself, and it can't be any Danes, because of course we want 4 Danes in the final. But if we can't choose any Danes, who's gonna be in the finals then?
I would like to see Ronan van der Loo from Holland play
Yeah?
the final. He has a nice spirit and he's just cool.
Nice.
I would like to see some of the English players, but they haven't had such a good EYC.
I was talking with Hadley about the English team,
Yeah.
and they said they have one guy called Oliver Spindley.
Yeah,
He's actually throwing the ball really, really good, but he's just not as good as moving and getting the ball to the
they
right
also have
spot.
Jay Goodwin. He's also playing real, and they played the morning squad and made some good shots, and they played really well both. And they're also 2 nice guys.
Yeah.
I live in the same hotel and talk good with them.
Nice. So
I wish them the best of luck.
Nice. So a little bit more. Now you balled 6 games yourself on this morning squad with Matthias, and so try to talk a little bit about what was the game plan from the start. Now you have the best look of everyone on the fresh, as far as I know, and what I've seen. So tell me where is it that you need something or is gonna improve?
I can start with the 6 ball I checked in, and of course my spare ball. Then I had a kingpin and a freak show flip, and the freak show flip is actually a polished ball, but I gave it 1,000 in a ball spinner, and now it rolls pretty good for me. And then I checked the Beyond Ridiculous in, a new ball from Radical, and a Katana polish ball, and then my Absolute Nirvana, a benchmark ball.
Cool.
So my game plan was to start with kingpin or freak show flip. I've also done that the other days, but it was kingpin that looked best, so I started with that one. And the other days I have been a little bit, too slow to see the transition. I have made.
You hit the transition today pretty well. In the second, third game, you started with front 5.
Yeah.
So you must have found something. It looked like the pair was a little bit longer, and you can get a little
Tighter,
more push.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But after the 4th game, something that didn't happen the other day confused me, and then I began to think too much over the all event and all the stuff as a rookie.
Yeah.
And then I was confused about lanes, and I was thinking too much, and then I couldn't throw my shots.
Okay.
But the transition was weird today, I think.
Yeah. So I saw the same as you. I thought transition today. Now I only seen the team event and this one. I haven't been here the whole week, but what I saw today was that the people was starting more to the left than they did before. You and Matthias were starting a little more to the right and actually had the same game plan. But if you looked at one of the, for example, Mike or the Slovenian guy or William, they started actually really, really deep.
Yeah.
So people got forced left pretty quick. And it looked like, for me as a commentator, it looked like you got caught in this transition around the 4th game, because you hit the first one in about the second game, and you made the jump in, and you actually striked a lot there. And then in the 4th game, it looked like that you had to throw a little bit weaker ball, and you had to get a little more in. But I don't know if that's wrong or right, but you can fill us in on that one.
I agree with you. I started with my kingpin, and I was standing with my feet on 4th board like all the other days, and I made my shots. And then we moved down to 21, 22, and the kingpin, it was too early, and then it just hang. So I switched to my feature flip, who was had a little more back end, and moved three boards inside to the left. And I also made my shots, but I didn't have the best carry in the second game. But maybe it was too fast to go to the free throw flip. But then in the first game, I took the free throw flip again, and moved more left and more tighter. I actually was really tight, and that worked. It just it just read the first part of the lane, and then you just roll to the target.
You got some space there.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was a really good ball change.
Unfortunately, I only shot 218.
Yeah.
I could have shot 250, but I had 7 pin and an 8 pin.
Yeah.
And
I
that
saw
wasn't
that.
okay, but I couldn't spare.
Yeah.
That was the third game, and
So-
then in the fourth game, the free throw flip began to get too early, like the kingpin. So I moved to my benchmark ball, absolute Nirvana, and moved a little bit in, and then I started to struggle because it was really out of bounds for me, and then I couldn't find the hole.
Yeah.
But the transition I couldn't follow.
But I haven't really seen anyone throwing shiny balls here. I haven't.
No.
Everyone is throwing a little bit of surface or balls that's strong and then doesn't have a lot of surface. So why is no one, when it gets so dry and so wet to the inside, why is no one moving left and just hooking it? Why? I know that you're a little more straight player and you like to play the outside.
I don't got that much refs, but I play with 3 guys on the team that have plus 450 refs, 2 two-handed and Marcus, who really, and it looks like the polish ball is just, sliding, and it's never gonna start to read.
Yeah.
I think that's the answer in that. I haven't really thrown so much polish. In the double, the last game I throwed my beyond ridiculous. It's polished, but it's a little bit stronger polished ball, and it likes to start early.
Yeah.
So
But now I ball in the center myself quite a lot. So when I know exactly what you mean about the ball have to pick up in the front and it have to read the mid lane, otherwise the ball can't strike. So that's why I asked, and it looks like the good teams that has scouts out on the lane and knows what's going on and see what all the other people is doing. It looks like that they're throwing the right kind of balls, and what I would like to see and someone try is actually to make that jump a little bit earlier, to try to make the jump left and go left before everyone else. Obviously, you're not the kind of baller that just jumps left, but what is your opinion on that? Do you think that would work here for example, Matthias or one of the two-handed guys?
Yeah, Matthias tried it sometimes, but it wasn't really the polished balls. It was a show-off, It still has a lot of surface, but it is a back-end ball.
Yeah.
And it looks really on-off. But I think maybe Marcus from my team, he has the IQ Sonic, and it looked really good in the last game in the team. I think he could jump in earlier because he also gets so much behind the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
And still has a lot of refs.
Yeah.
I think he would had a chance with the polish ball.
Yeah.
Earlier.
I agree. That's
and he also likes to throw polish.
Yeah.
Last day in the second block, he got really happy when Martin, our coach, said, "You can throw polish." We are deciding which ball we're playing, but it was the time to play polish, and then he just shined up.
Oh, that's so cool. But when I was bowling the EYC, so I always like to move left before everyone else, because then I knew that no one was gonna get in my way. And it looked like you had
You
a
had
couple
the
of
whole lane for yourself.
exactly, and it looked like when you moved lanes, it was a guess what was gonna happen with the ball the first shot, and then you had to make a move of that. And that's what I mean about if people jump left a little bit before, they will actually know what gonna happen on the lane the next time they're gonna show. So when the scores is this high, it means that you basically have to strike
Yeah.
every shot.
The pace is really high.
Yeah. I never seen, now I guess they cut this morning and I guessed it to 1400 plus minus 10. So I'm pretty close right now, but what would you think it's going to be? Do you think this squad is going to be as high or?
As we saw the days before, I've played 2 morning squads, and then of course I played morning. Our first team block was on the morning, and then the second was in the
Yeah.
yeah
Afternoon, yeah.
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 And I saw the morning block was more high scoring than the afternoon, because the the lanes has outside, it's more cold in the morning,
Yeah.
and then the outside of the lane is more open, and there's not so many people in the center to get it warmed up
No, exactly, yeah.
in the morning. So I think the pace, of course there's 1 or 2 guys in this squad that's gonna give it a chance and has the chance, but the first squad is gonna be the most high scoring, and it has always been that in the other days. But I'm not sure, because my last block of the team, I thought I would struggle more from the start, because the outside I don't have that much riff, so I play from the outside and in, and unfortunately it was open from the outside yesterday.
So we're back on again now with Andreas. I don't know if it's him or what's going on here, but we got some technical problems. This time it wasn't our fault, it was the internet and the ball that was down, so we couldn't really do anything. But it should be stable now and we should be set for the day. So let's continue. We were talking a little bit about ball motion and how did you experience the difference of the sides. So what is, if you make it into Masters now, which you hopefully will do, what is the game plan? How are you gonna approach Masters?
If it's gonna start, I think it's starting on fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I will just follow my game plan and play with free kill flip or kingpin. It's what picks up earliest.
Yeah.
But if I'm playing in the low end, I think I have to go to polish earlier because they are picking more earlier than the high end in the center. But am I playing in the high end, I also start with my feature flip or kingpin from the outside. But in the high end, I can move a little bit in and keep it really tight with free show flip or kingpin. Yeah, mostly free show flip, and then it just picks up early and then just sliding to the pocket.
So, if you could choose this, who would you play the finals against in the Masters? If you made it to the finals, who's the dream contender to win the gold against?
To win the gold against?
Yeah. Who would you like to ball? I had in my time, I love to ball Chris Sloan and I love to ball Pontus. So that was the two guys I was competing with at that point. So is there anyone you see yourself that you just wish to ball
if
against?
I should look as the best final and the most, the final with most energy. Of course, I would like to ball against Matthias. He's been my double partner against in 6 years, and we have won the Danish championship 5 years in a row. Yeah, we're unstoppable, but that's not a part.
Oh, that's class.
But I would like to play against him. But if I should choose one from another country, Ronan van der Loo, he's always screaming.
Cool. So if we can see a Masters final between you and Ronan, we're gonna have something to comment about.
No big guarantee. A lot of noise.
That's cool. So tell me a little bit more about. Now I've seen the Danes, the Swedes. They scout the lanes.
Yeah.
So for all those home, now I know what scouting is and how it works. But try to explain what you use it for and how do you communicate what you see on the lanes and what you do.
On the Danish team, we have our own scout this year. It's the first year. Jimmy Dan Mortensen, also playing bowling by himself, and he's playing here in Aalborg. He's playing for LBC. Yeah. So it's really good scene of the Danish Bowling Federation that Jimmy would be a good man. He's really good at scouting the lanes. He stands with his iPad and look at the lane map and looks at the difference between the lanes, and then he see who is playing on this pair, and is it actually what you see on the lane map? Does that happen on the lane when you throw the ball? I think also that part of it. Now I talked a little bit with Jimmy about it earlier today, and it's quite valuable. We did it when I bought the youth team. We did the same, and and that was when they started doing the lane maps. That was one of the first years I was on, and back then we didn't really know that much about lane mapping and how it worked and stuff like that. So we always used our own scouts, and then if a lane, we had Vienna for example, where they got us was really red, but then some lanes were blue on the outside. So what we did was if the topography is in a certain way, then it's super important that your ball, you have to look at your ball and you have to react from the ball and what that do. Do you agree with that, or do you trust when the coaches say, I think this lane hooks 3 boards more? Do you throw one shot first to see what the lane does, or do you just jump in 3 boards? I trust what Jimmy says, but Jimmy also looks who's playing on the pair, and are they playing with polish or are they playing with surface? And he also looks what is going wrong for them. Are they standing too much to the right or to the left? And then he says to Martin, hey, as I seen this pair, the right lane is hooking more, and I think it was on the pair 17 and 18. They used the lane map because in the bottom of the lane, the one lane was really red, and the other lane was, you know, a little bit more flat.
Yeah.
And I could feel that. So I think the lane map says some important things.
Exactly. A lot of ballers today. Now I bowl on the European tour myself and talk with some of the guys there, and a lot of them says that the topography is actually a lot more important than the actual pattern on the lanes.
Yeah.
So it's basically that the topography overrides the pattern, but the balls you throw and who started on the pair, did they throw surface, did they throw polished balls, as you say, that have a big impact on how you're gonna approach the lanes. So what? Oh wait, actually we have to look a bit on the scores here. Now we just sit and talk. Let me just.
So we're back on again. The internet and the ball is not doing very well. It should be stable now, so it shouldn't fall off again. But I'm still here with Andreas, and we're continuing the interview. And now we're going to look a little bit on the scores. We talked about how the lanes were playing and all that kind of stuff. So now we're going to dig a little bit deeper. They're in the start of the 4th game now, and we got the scores after 2 games here. And after 2 games, the guy from Iceland got 94 over. And Maxime Dubois from France got 92 over, and we got 70 over and 64 over for the 4 first spots, which means that there's actually the 2 first guys, they averaging 240, which is a really high score. So now you were good on fresh, Andreas. Can you try to explain how these guys should do and what should be the game plan from the 4th game now?
I would move a little bit inside and keep it tight with the ball with serve.
So we're back on live again now with Andreas, and the internet connection in the ball had to be had to be restarted. So so I think we're on now, and I think the connection is stable. So Andreas, let's look at some scores now. Now we got there was some people. They're in the fourth game now, and there was a couple of guys on 130 over. So we got Maxime Dubois from France with 139 over.
Of course, he's playing with Brunswick.
Oh, we got a little bit of yeah. And then we got Tim from Germany on 124 over, and then we got Johan from Iceland, the guy that had the 298 game in the first, and he's on 100 over. So I think there's a couple of guys you should look out for. Personally, I think that you should look out for Lucas Sevelin, which is on the 5th spot right now. He started a little bit weak with a 2-0 game, and then he had 240, 240. So it looks like he found out something that he can keep, and now he's on 9 spare, 5 in a row, and then an open. So he's gonna have at least a 220, 240 game again. So look out for him.
He looked really, really well the whole week.
Yeah, he's technically bowling very solid. Yeah. So Andreas, who do you think will make it from here? Is that Maxime?
Yeah, he's also looked quite good. The today in the team and the double, but yeah, he's a Brunswick guy, so yes, I think he have a really good chance.
Yeah.
He hits the pocket 9 out of 10 times, I think.
Nice.
And of course, the Swedes should look out for them.
Of course, yeah.
They have been really good on the last games, the days before. So I think one of them is making the cut.
Yeah. So let's jump over to the fun part here. What I think is the most impressive of all of the wins you can win. All events, all the things combined, and the gold medal there is, in my opinion, the best bowler through the week. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's the bowler that has been bowling best over the free disciplines.
Exactly.
So it's the most prestige medal to win.
Exactly.
Of course.
That's also my opinion. So let's take a look here. There's, as I said when we started, there's only one guy that has a chance right now, and that's Oscar. Oh wait, there's Maxime actually got a chance too.
Hey, where is he?
He's in 17. So we got Maxime Dubois, and then we got Oscar Virefelt from Sweden. That's playing this squad, and one is on 3rd place right now in average in the all events, and the other guy is on 5th place. So Oscar needs around, as I said, 1440. So he needs 740 now, 745. Is that easy in this?
No. It is high pace, but you got the all event in your mind, and of course you also got that.
Yeah.
So you saw my last 2 games.
Yeah.
I was confused because of transition, and then I had the top 24. So I think he is a little bit of the same. I can see he is struggling a little bit now, but he has been good on the last games, a couple of days.
Yeah.
So of course he's going to give himself the chance.
Hopefully.
But I think, of course he will be in the top 3.
Yeah, I think so too, because right now he's in 3rd spot, and I think the only one that's actually a contender to the 3rd place right now is Maxime, because he got quite an okay chance, and he's pacing a really high score. Yeah, so if he keeps doing that, then I actually think,
Ooh, messenger on the 10 pin.
Yeah. So that was a really, really nice interview with Andreas, and now I have a feeling that I have to let him go so he can actually reflect a little bit on it. And we had so much fun, and I wish you the best of luck tomorrow, and I hope you make the Masters.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe I will come back tomorrow. We can talk a little.
Hopefully. always have a spot for you on the commentary side. He's so good, and he's such an educated kid, and yeah, it impresses me how well they are doing and how much bowling you guys actually know. Because now I've been in the situation, and when I was your age, I didn't know anything about topography and a little bit about oil and balls, but you know a lot more than I do, and that's really impressive for me.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much for your time, and it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Marcus.
So I'm back on the live stream commentary with Mathias Ankerdal now. He's the highest seeded of the Danish guys, and he's currently staying in 5th place in the all event, and he's 7th on average right now. So he's gonna make top 8. So Mathias, what do you think about the performance today? Are you satisfied, or how did it go?
Oh, it was actually pretty good. I had a rough start, but made some adjustments and throw some good shots.
Nice.
Just take one shot at a time. Didn't think about results, didn't think about masters, all events, you know. But just throwing my shots and do my best.
Yeah. Now you're saying I'm just throwing one shot at a time. Is that something the coaches teach you, or now I know you're really calm when you bowl and you're really good at putting yourself in a position where you're good? So what do you do to have the right mindset when you go into bowling?
You know, the coaches have said to us that, yeah, just not focus on, you know, the result, but yeah, just take one shot at a time. But yeah, but normally I didn't think about the results. I just play my game and not focus on the other guys. So
nice. That's I'm so impressed of you guys, because you're so passionate and you love the sport so much, and I can see in your eyes when you strike and you love it. It's so good. But did you have any difference on the lanes? Do you think pair to pair? Now I asked Andreas the same. Do you have a lot of difference pair to pair and end to end, or how do you explain that?
yeah, we started the doubles. Doubles was pretty tough. Had some good games and so, you know, like 2 really bad games, and that cost us a lot of pins both. And yeah, but we was fighting okay good. But yeah, we just still take one shot at a time, and yeah, and in team in the team that was the first block was my absolute best.
Yeah.
I had like 737, I think it was.
Yeah, you bowl amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, but it was team was pretty easier than the doubles, but I thought the team will be harder because, you know, we play so many people on one pair, so you know you throw like 8 shots before it's your turn again.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And then you have to move, to move pretty far left early.
Yeah.
So
so now you mentioned yourself that it takes 8 shots, actually 8 shots to get to the same lane again.
Yeah.
So did you have any guideline to I move one board left every time before I go to a lane? Did you move without actually taking a shot and missing, or did you just stand and make adjustment in speed, and or how did you solve that it was so long between the shots?
I think we was actually talking with the coach, and the first couple of shots we throw as the team, I was the last player, so I could like seeing what the other guys do with their ball, and it goes early or it goes too long.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was calm because, you know, I could see what the other guys do and what they say to me, like move some boards left or get up your speed or something like that. So that was pretty good.
Now I tried to only play as an anchor person in the team. So I played the same position as you when I was bowling, the EYC. And I had the same opinion as you, because I like to see the other shots and how did the lane develop. And if, let's say, your start man or the third man that's right before you, he moves one board left and the ball doesn't hook, then you know, okay, I probably shouldn't move a board. And do you use other players, as you said? Which one on the team do you use? Now I know you bowl a lot with Andreas, and obviously you use his ball, but the other guys is a little more similar to your play style. Do you use them too, or?
Yeah, I was, I was just in the team. I was just like, about the ball was going too early or it was go too long. So I had a good feeling, and that was my, best results, best 6 games.
That was pretty amazing. I think it's only you and William that actually had that kind of score on 3 games here.
Yeah.
So he had it this morning block, and he bowled really well. So you must. I wasn't here when you shot yours, but you must have bowled really well on the fresh there. So enough about the bowling. How is the social life here? Do you like the EYC?
Yeah, I really love it. Also, last year in Finland, that was really amazing. First time, and I made some new friends.
Exactly.
You know, talk with people from all around Europe. It's, you know, bowling is so social that, you know, you can meet. Now we are from Denmark. You can meet some from, you know, other countries. That's amazing. You can talk with everybody, and there's like there are best friends in every country.
Yeah.
That's
Now you bowl a lot on the European Youth Tour too. So you know a lot of people here, and obviously got some really good friends even from other countries.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I think is really nice about the bowling, even on the youth side. The seniors is not as good at socializing as you youth are, but I still think the bowling has something about it. The social life is so important, and that's why you can be a really good bowler, but also when you need to have contracts or something, you need to socialize and talk to the right people and make the right decisions. And have any thoughts about any contracts, and what is your next step now? I know you're going to the World Series in what is that, November, August?
November, I think.
Yeah. So are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. You know, that will be my first time in America to play on the PBA tour, and it's just playing with the best of the best, you know, in the bowling sport, and
compare yourself to
and then I can learn a lot of experience and take the, you know, the positive with me to Denmark as the tournament. So, but it's gonna be good.
Nice. So now I know from bowling two-handed myself that training is really hard in Denmark, and there's not that many good coaches that can coach two-handed. So who's helping you now developing your game and getting better?
Yeah, I have Mick Steinberg from the Danish national team as my coach right now. Of course, the national trainer Martin Worsny is, and then I have from my club is in BK Trækkerne. So they help me, and I'm really happy for that.
Now you mentioned Mick. Mick is I bowled with Mick on the senior national team. A really talented bowler himself, and he's really good to youth people, and he helps them quite a lot growing and getting better. And how did Mick help you? Is it more mentally? Is it with the physical game, or how did you prepare for this? Was Mick a factor in the preparing of this? Did he help you along with Vosny and the other guys? What was your routines? How did you prepare?
I think the best about Mick is that he understands, you know, the youth players, what they're going through, and of course he has helped me to this EYC and talk a lot with me. What are you gonna do, and you know which balls are you gonna take with you to EYC, and he's just a good coach.
Yeah, I agree. So now let's get some scores up now, because I think we can get the scores from the fifth game here. So
it's gonna be interesting to see the guys can hold the pace or they lost it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying here. So we got the fourth game in now. So we got Maxime Debois, that's 166 over, and we got Brent de Ruyter from Netherlands is 130 over. And then we got Lucas Sevelin
from Sweden.
He's on.
He is also won silver in double with Oscar, his double partner right now.
Oh yeah.
And he won the team event yesterday with Team Sweden. So they was doing good.
Yeah. Cool. That's and congratulations with the medal.
Yeah, thank you.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
So let's take a look at the Oscar here. Because
he was, before this day, Oscar was second in the all events.
Yes.
So he maybe I don't know if he has chosen to play the late squad here, but then he can see the results as I need to score that, but that can also be a pressure on him.
I would say for me personally, when I was bowling, I think it's better to bowl the morning squad at the last day.
To put pressure on the other guys.
Exactly, because usually the morning squads up here is a little bit higher scoring.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is all the players is putting their good players. There was only 2 in top 8 that's bowling this squad now,
Yeah.
and there was I think 8 or 9 in top 24
Yeah.
that's bowling
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So all the good bowlers or all the high-scoring bowlers were bowling the squad
Yeah.
before, which break the lanes down a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Did you feel any difference from the double team to the singles here?
I think the transition was, the transition come pretty early.
Yeah.
The single, the doubles was, I was playing with the same ball like 3 games, and then I was switched to another ball.
What did you throw?
I throw my no rule success from rotor grip.
Yeah.
In the doubles and show off also. So, but today I start with my no rule success again. Move to show off. But then the transition I said was earlier, so then I changed to my IQ2 edition.
Okay, cool.
so
That's a
yeah.
really good ball.
Yeah,
That's
lovely ball.
exactly.
Lovely ball.
So, as you said, there was some transition problems today.
Yeah.
So around the second to third game, there was a gap there. And do you
Yeah.
have any game plan for the Masters now? Now I know it's on fresh oil, but if you get to between the second and third game and you get to that point, do you have a game plan ready? Do you know how to solve it now?
Yeah, I'll definitely see the guys what they are doing with their ball, and what kind of lines they play, and so I have an idea.
Yeah.
Where I should play and which balls.
Cool. So the time, that's actually pretty impressive, because when I was bowling on the youth team, when we were done bowling, we were only looking at our own team.
Yeah.
But that's what I think is so amazing this year, that you actually look at the good bowlers to find a
Yeah.
solution for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I do it myself on the European tour
Yeah.
when I was bowling, and I know a lot of guys is doing it.
Yeah.
So, and it works. It's when you see other guys that have the same problem and solve it, then it works. Then you also know what to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good
Yeah, it is.
good investment in time to do that now.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
So now I asked Andreas the same, and I also told him you can't choose each other because I know you're best friends.
Yeah.
So who would you bowl against in a final in the Masters if you could choose? Who would be the best match for you? Who would you beat the most, or who would you like to beat the most?
I have that opinion that the best bowlers have to win in the finals and fight for medals. So maybe after the first squad here, that will be William Swenson. He's pretty good bowler. We are both two-handers. He has won the Masters 2 years in a row now. Can be back to back to back. So that could be actually pretty cool to beat him if it,
And that can actually happen, because as you said, now I bowl EYC myself and they seed. So now you're so high seeded that William is second seed, I think, and you're
Yeah.
gonna be around 4th or 5th or 6th seed.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to meet each other before the final. Most likely.
before semi-finals, I think.
At least the semi-finals,
Yeah.
most likely. And usually the top seeds go out a little bit earlier and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's actually a possible final.
Yeah.
And that would be amazing to see.
Yeah.
I would love a final with you two in it. That would.
Yeah.
Now I know you pump yourself up and you always give a good show.
Yeah.
And William is more kind of a quiet guy.
Yeah.
And so how do you have any plans when you're gonna bowl the Masters? How are you gonna approach it psychologically?
Yeah, I will. It's as you said, there's 1 against 1, so
Yeah.
it's not about the score, but more to beat, your opponent. So it's just maybe not still not think so much about the score, but
Just take
but
one shot at a time and just do your best. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good.
And if I lose to a good player that is playing better than me, that's fair. So
That's amazing to hear this. That's that's nice. Like
Yeah.
you actually appreciate good bowling, and that's where, like, I always think that that with the format we have now and the way it's working out, I think the best
Yeah.
bowler should win.
yeah.
How do you see the social life? How a little more about that. How was it? Like, now I know you play cards in the afternoon, and we did that at least. I don't know if you do it,
Yeah.
but have fun and interact with people and talk cross countries. So is there any guys that you socialize more with? Any teams that you
Yeah.
I have talked a lot with the English guys from England, because I have also bowled with them at the European Tour.
Yeah.
And the Swedish guys I talked to, and but you know, here it's like all guys is talking with each other, so it's fantastic.
So amazing.
That players from all around Europe can talk together. It's so
it's amazing.
It's amazing.
I think it's truly amazing that just the atmosphere here and the
it's really good.
The parents and just all the people, and I like it. Now I played the European Men's Championship too, and the European Men's Championship is a little more serious, and it's
more
people
quiet.
Exactly, people doesn't show emotions,
No.
and that's what I think is so amazing, that you guys, when you make a strike and you can really see it's so important for you, that you get so happy, and usually you put your feelings away because it gets in the way of the bowling when you get to a certain level. But how do you experience that? I see you as a bowler that gets better when you get pumped up.
As you say, you know, the seniors are pretty more serious, and they are quiet when they get a strike. You cannot see on them if you play like 200 or you play a 290 game, for example, and then you just see at the bowlers here, you will get pumped up when you get a strike, and your supporters will scream at you and cheering the best as they can and get yourself pumped up. But it's pretty cool. I like it.
So what does the future look like now? Now you're one of the most talented guys, or I would say the most talented guy we have in Denmark right now, on the youth side, under 18. So what is the plans for the future? I know you're going to World Series. Is there any ABTs coming up, or any tournaments where we have to look after you?
You say I'm going to the World Series, but there will be some EBT tournaments, so I will play more of them, but still also play like the European Tour. So I still have like a feeling where I can play with the youth, but still I'm in the next level where I will, go up and get to the seniors, see if I can beat them. So.
Are you playing the league in Denmark now, or youth?
No, I'm playing the youth league right now. But my future plans is also to stay in BK Trækken KF and hope one day I can play the league with one of the two best teams in Denmark. That's
always fun, because the jump from youth to senior now,
it's pretty hard in our club. So
and I know for me personally, I was in a club that wasn't one of the top clubs.
No.
So I actually got up when I was 15.
Yeah.
And what amazed me the most is the psychological game of it.
Yeah.
The people that affect you, because that's all about winning.
Yeah.
On the youth side, we don't see that much trash talk, and we don't see the psychological game. But when you get to the point in the league, a lot of players, they know if they say certain things and do certain things, which is part of the game, and I think it's completely fair, because everyone can do it. But as a youth coming up, is that something you're afraid of, or do you take it? Now it's a really good team to get up on Trekanten, because they are one of the good teams at doing it too.
Yeah.
So.
But no, I will not be afraid to play, the senior league. But it will still be. I will still be nervous. I think the first time I will play, but I like the system where you play 6 guys and three matches every single game. So
it's pretty cool. It's pumped up, and it's a little bit like the Swedish system where you. Is there any plans for you to bowl in Sweden?
I will go to the Lucky Last Masters again this year, and
but no clubs and no league.
No clubs.
Okay. So listen up now out there who's looking on the live stream.
Yeah.
Someone can sign Matthias, and that's one of the guys here. So send him a text if you want a bowler. That's really good. He can. I don't know if he's interested, but hear him out. That's I talked with Andreas about it, and I think a lot of those youth bowlers here would really benefit of bowling in Sweden, because it's 4 games, it's fresh oil, and it doesn't get broken down so easily.
No.
So it's a lot of surfaces, a lot of different bowlers, and it's 4 matches, 8 players, which is a bit different.
Yeah, and higher cheering as the final in Jönköping. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, they
That's,
are. Yeah, it's a good crowd, and there's all they fight for the title, and that's the point.
exactly.
They win or no win.
Exactly. It's so cool to watch.
Yeah.
I think everybody that thinks they want to watch bowling the first time, they should watch the Swedish League finals, because
Yeah, I have watched the Swedish League final. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool when all strike they get over to one lane against the
jump over seats
Yeah,
and clap each other,
yeah.
and it's so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
drums and everything.
I have most seen the Team Pergamon and Team Clan in the final.
Yeah, that's so
it's
cool.
It's one of the best clubs in Europe.
Yeah,
so
and some of the best bowlers in the
Yeah,
world playing on
yeah,
those teams.
yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So what are you going to spend your evening on now? How does the rest of the day look? Is it a little bit looking on bowling now and relaxing, or?
I will, seeing the squads, not doing that much, but just get myself to a point where I can see some guys, and not see some lines, but it's gonna be different tomorrow. But I will definitely just seeing it where I go in the all events and singles. So yeah.
I'm not gonna take more of your time now, Matthias.
No.
So best of luck tomorrow. It's I'm gonna look forward to following you, because I think you got a really good shot in the Masters tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I like the man against man.
exactly. So you're one of the really good match play bowlers in Denmark.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely Matthias we should look out for tomorrow. And as you said, William Svensson, of course, and some of those guys
Yeah.
that's a little more experienced than the match play, because it's a lot different than now.
Yeah.
But thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
best of luck.
Yeah.
Bye. So now I'm back on alone again. We got Brent de Ruyter from Holland. So we got Brent de Ruyter from Holland, and he's on front 7 now, and he's on 932 for 4. So with a good game here and a decent game in the next one, he actually got a solid chance. The score he has to beat right now is 1390, 1393. So right now, let me just take a quick look here. Boys singles. We got Maxime Dubois still, 160 over, and then Brent de Ruyter. I think those two is the guys we should definitely look out for. Let me take a quick look. So we need to find France and Netherlands. So Brent is on front 7/9 per strike. So he's looking, if he strike out 279, which would put him at 200 over, which would give him a quite decent chance here to make it. So Maxime Dubois is on 6 in a row from the start, and he's 160 over. So right now there's 2 contenders for the singles, 4 spots, which is Brent de Ruyter from Netherlands, and then we got Maxime Dubois. So it's going to be fun to follow those 2 into the last games here. So I'm back on again. Let me just take a quick look. Brent de Ruyter is he got the first and the 10th, so he's looking at least at a 260 game here, which is going to put him at about 200, 210 over. If he strikes out in 200 over, if he spares now. So we got 2 contenders for the 4th place of the singles. So we got Brent de Ruyter, he doubled the 10th for 270, and I just got the manager here telling me that the internet is a little bit down, so it can't put the scores up. So I'm just going to give a quick review of the scores here. I'm not going to take every bowler, but I'm going to take the ones that's having a decent score right now. So we got on 7 and 8 we got Brent de Ruyter from Netherlands. He's on 1,211 points, and then we got Italian guy on 100 over. He's on 1,100, and on lane 11 and 12 we got nothing. There was no big scores. Let me look. There's one guy from Finland that's 50 over, something like that. Not a real big score, but decent score. And let me just look. And then we got the two Swedes on 17-18, and Lucas had 167, which is not that high of a score. I think he's like a little bit. Then Oscar is on a 237 right now, which is going to put him to 110 over. A little more, 120 over, which is quite a good score. And that also means, because he needed 1440 to win the all event, so that's also meaning, if my calculations is correct here, that Georg Skritten is gonna win the all events here. I'm gonna update that in a couple of minutes here, but I think it's pretty safe that he's in, and I think Georg is he's pretty safe on the win. So I just did a quick calculation from the scores right now, and we got a winner of the all events, which is Georg Skritten from Norway. Pretty amazing. He's a rookie this year, and it's his first tournament. Hopefully I can get him into the studio. But right now, both William Svensson is going to be second in the all events, and this is some unofficial calculations. But Georg Skritten, after my calculations, is going to win, and William Svensson second, and the third place is a little bit unsecure if who's going to take that. But I'm going to update in a minute. So I'm back on again, and Brent from the Netherlands is on 76 points in the 5th frame, and he's 1211 points. The score he needs to beat today from the first squad was 1393, and the 3rd place right now in the singles is 1434-3, I think, 34-33. So I'm just gonna do a quick update here. Let's see if we can find France and see what Maxime Debois has, because he was on 1210 points too. Tak. So, so I'm back on again, and Maxim is on 159 points in the 6th frame, and then he got a spare. So right now it looks like that it's gonna be Gea. It's gonna be Gea. It's gonna be Maxim in the 3rd or 4th spot, and then in the 1st and 2nd spot we're gonna have the 2 from the 1st squad, which is gonna be William Svensson and Tim Sevenek from Slovenia. So I think our 4 contenders for the top 4, with the results I have right now, is gonna be William Svensson in the 1st seed, Tim Sevenek in the 2nd seed, Gerhard Skruten in 3rd or 4th seed, and then Maxime Dubois in 3rd or 4th seed. So it depends a little bit if he strikes out now, because Maxim can beat all of them if he strikes out. He can go to 59 with his, or 49 I think with his score. So he can actually beat everyone right now. I'm just gonna take a quick look down there, and I'll be back with an update. So the 4 finalists for the single finals of the men's team is gonna be William Svensson, Tim Sevenek, and Geir Skruten, and then we're gonna have Maxime Dubois. He can actually take the 1st seat. He's pacing 240 now, so most likely he's gonna be around between the 1st and the 3rd seed. Yeah, I'll update you in a minute, but now we got it set. There's no one else that can make it. So we got top 4 locked in now, and yeah. So now we got the seeding for the finals, the single finals tomorrow, and we're gonna have the 4 participants of the final we already knew, but the seeding of them is gonna be William Svensson first, Tim Severnik from Slovenia second, and then we're gonna have Maxime Debois in the 3rd place, and then Georg Skytten on 4th. That means that William's match is gonna be against Georg from Norway, and the 2 other players is meeting each other. So let me just do a quick update on all events. And look, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that Maxime Debois is going to be 3rd actually. This is unofficial, but I think he's going to be the 3rd spot because he had 14:37. He had 2:37 the last, so he's going to be at 39:79, which is going to beat Alexander Nepachev. I don't know what Oskar Widerfeldt from Sweden had, but if he didn't have 2:22, Maxime Debois get the bronze in the all event. And Georg Skytten from Norway, congrats with the gold in the all events. I've been there myself. I tried to win the gold. It's an amazing feeling, and by far the biggest achievement of this championship to win that medal. William Svensson, congrats on the silver. Both made the single finals, so we'll see them in action tomorrow night. We're going to have an interview now with the English coaches, Hadley Morgan and Curtis Hooper. It's going to be on Channel 2, and we're going to ask them a little bit more about the questions about how is the life of a coach here, how do they prepare for such a big tournament, and follow up on the interview we had before the the actual start here. So what's pretty cool here is that we got one Danish guy, top 7, Mathias made top 8, sorry. So he's balling the Masters step 2, and I don't know if we got any other Danes that made it. I think that Markus Christensen made it. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm unsure if Andreas Andreasen made it. But hopefully I'll do an update tomorrow morning. And then we're going to have a quick interview now with Curtis and Hatley. So tune in on channel 2 and prepare yourself. It will be ready in about 5 to 10 minutes. And you'll hear a little bit more about how it is to be a coach at the EYC, because that's one of the harder jobs. A lot of people think that you just stand behind the lanes and talk a little bit to your players and help them, but it's really mentally hard, and psychologically you have to help your players in the best way. So tune in, channel 2. Make sure that you listen on Hatley and Kurt Dog. It's going to be really fun.
It's from France, Philippe Dubois. And from Norway, Georg Skruden. And the semi-finals will be Sweden versus Norway and Slovenia versus France. And we also know the top 3 medalists in the all event. The European champion in the boys division, Georg Skruden from Norway. Silver medal goes to William Svensson from Sweden. And finally, there's a bronze medal to Maxime Dubois from France.